Please don't go anywhere yet for just 30 seconds so I can tell you what this Facebook, YouTube Live is all about. The stimulus package, right? It's affecting all of us, this terrible virus, and it is wreaking financial mayhem on the country. I'm not going to get political of who does what, right, wrong, or whatever, but the sooner we can get out of this mess financially, the better, right? Well, I want to help give you some answers on all the strategies that you can employ with the stimulus package. It's not just a PPP loan. It's not just unemployment. It's not family medical leave only or borrowing from your retirement account. I've got 8 different strategies that you could employ in this stimulus package. Now, I'm a CPA, an attorney, a best-selling author, radio show host, yada, yada, and we help business owners all over the country in our law firm and accounting firm and our trust company helping you self-direct your retirement accounts. I have an amazing team. We are literally texting back and forth in a group text every day for the last 10 days. 9 folks. It's like 7 attorneys and 3 CPAs and myself, and we're just collaborating and trying to be on the cutting edge of the stimulus package. My partner this morning was on a 2-hour webinar with the AI CPA, with CPAs around the country. We've been calling the SBA. We've been on the phone with the IRS. We are trying to be, again, at the forefront of this topic. So for the next 45 minutes, I'm all yours. I'm here, Q&A, and I want to help you out. There's so many questions sometimes you don't even know to ask. I've got my whiteboard here. We're going to be kicking butt with that. I've got my Diet Mountain Dew. I even took a little shave right before, so I look good for you. So anyway, I'm here and I am worn out. I am so tired. I am like, can this stimulus package be over with? And then we're back on the Senate floor today looking for another $250 billion. Now, as of today, now this is April 9th, Thursday, this is live. There's been $98 billion distributed to business owners already, or at least approved. I haven't got my PPP check. I haven't got my idle 10 grand. So I'm just going to keep plugging along and I'm going to answer all your questions as best I can. Okay, I'm also going to give away some books. I want to give away some study material because many of you that are small business owners, we need to come back strong. This is a good time to use this quarantine homes wisely and do some study. I've got a little quarantine special that I only do once a year for 24 hours, and I'm doing it all quarantine during this entire quarantine, trying to help anybody out I can. This is free, it's available, take advantage of it. So if you're at YouTube or Facebook, down below, type your question, tell me your first name and what city you're from. I'd like to hear from you, and I'll do my best to answer it. We did a live podcast yesterday, and I couldn't get to all the answers, or all the questions with answers. I'm going to be sitting down in the evening just watching Netflix and just returning questions, trying to get my sanity back. Okay, so we're going to dive into it and go from there. Sound good? I got Logan, Rosalie, and Caden here in the studio. Little Diet Dew. That's what I'm living on, keeping it going. Okay. This is good stuff. I'm going to go with some of the easy questions just to hit some softballs here. Julia Jones, welcome. She says, is the $1,200 stimulus check a loan? No, it is not a loan. You do not have to pay it back. And they started electronically transferring stimulus checks today. If any of you got your check in your bank account today, I would love to hear from you. Let us know if you got it. If any of you got your idle $10,000 distribution from the SBA yet, I would love to hear about it. Please let us know. Type it down below. Tell us your first name and what city you're from. Now, I do have some bad news. Carolyn Witt on Facebook says, about the stimulus check, Mark, when you say it's essentially an advance on your tax refund for 2020, does this mean if we don't normally get money back when we file, we will owe the IRS? No. If you will not owe this back to the IRS, but if you were typically getting a refund, this will be off your refund. This is an advance on any refund you would normally get for your 2020 taxes. And if you owe the IRS 10 grand, this is a credit against that you're getting in advance. So you're still going to owe the IRS 10 grand. You just got an advance right now. So it's kind of tricky to explain, but it is an advance on any taxes you would owe next year. Or no, an advance on any refunds you'd get next year. And that's what it is. Sorry. So kind of complicated. All right. Ron asks, and then I'm going to the live questions typed down below. These are all came in before the show started. Ron says, I heard today that we do need to use our 2019 taxes to file for the PPP. All right. Ron opens the door. I'm going to mention what these 8 strategies are. Now, to get you excited, last week, after the Facebook Live we did last week, which made the top 10 most viewed live broadcasts on entrepreneur.com and my own Facebook, the most ever viewed, and I'm hoping today we're going to break some new records. Please share this with everyone you know, because I want to get this information out there. My heart's breaking for so many of you that are scared to death about losing your job or your business going down terribly. I try to be light and keep this conversation jovial as much as possible, but I know many of you are hurting, and my heart goes out to you. So we're here to try to help answer those questions. But right after the Facebook Live last week, I had a live viewer here and a few other live viewers here in the room, and he said, Mark, I'll buy you dinner. Let's just go get a hamburger. I'm like, all right, let's try to knock this out in an hour. We're doing hour consultations at my law firm. Even on Saturday, we're taking appointments, trying to help clients around the country. I even discounted our hourly rate. And I'll give you our contact information if you need it. Get with your professional. There's a lot of great professionals around the country doing consults. We're doing the same. But anyway, right after the Facebook Live, we met for about 45 minutes over a hamburger. Out of our 8 strategies, I hit 6 of them with him. By the time we wrapped it up a day later with all the little calculations, over $229,000 completely free money, not to be paid back. Crazy. So I'm still yet to hit a 7 or an 8. I'm going to try to do it, but I got 6 out of 8 right after our webinar last week. Okay, can we see this all right? We're looking good in the screen. Should I move it over further? Is this good right here? Oh, yeah, that's right. You got a sweet camera. We can go right in. Okay, I'm going to type up the 8. Here they are, people. And then I'm going to field questions on all 8. So number 1, let's see if we can do it this way, is the stimulus checks. We can talk about those, just like Julia was asking about and Carolyn. Number 2, we can talk about unemployment benefits. Okay, number 3, we can talk about SBA loan forbearance. Now that's a whole other topic. That's not the PPP. See, everybody's hyper-focused on this PPP. And Ron, I'm coming to your question. Rob on Facebook. I'm coming to your question. There's SBA loan forbearance. And then number 3 is getting a hold of money in your retirement account. Those limits have been blown out of the water, and they're crazy. Okay, number 4, we get to the EIDL, which is called the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. There's a Part A and a Part B. Then we get into the PPP, which is the Paycheck Protection Program. And then number 6, I want to talk about emergency paid sick leave. I've got a question from Agnes on Sonia Love has a question on that. And then number 7, we're going to get into Family Medical Leave Act. Everybody, these 8 strategies, 1, 2, 3, 4. What did I screw up? 1, 2, 3, 4. How did I just screw this up? 5, 6. Oh my gosh, I'm crazy. 7, 8. You know, you'd think I'd be able to do this right, and it's going to drive me crazy. So I'm going to have to fix this real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, here we go. I'm going to fix this out. Are you like, how can I trust this guy? He's an idiot. Hey, I haven't been getting much sleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so those are our 8 strategies under the stimulus package. When we do a consult for a client, you may say, well, Mark, I just need to know my PPP. I want to hit as many of these 8 I can. That's the goal. Okay, so Rob asks, I heard today that we need to use our 2019 taxes to file for the PPP. All right, let's go talk about the PPP. Now, I like to contrast these between the PPP, which is the Payroll Protection Program, and the EIDL. The EIDL has 2 parts. Like I said above, the first part is this $10,000 grant. All right, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Part B is a loan that can be up to $2 million. And I've had people get letters or emails back from the SB already on this. We'll talk about it. The PPP is, and let me say this about EIDL. EIDL, you go through SBA.gov. You go through SBA.gov, You do not go through a bank for this loan. You go right to SBA.gov. And all of you can do this right now, and you can go over there and apply. I did it for my daughter who has a little small business, did it in 15 minutes. So this is very easy. And some of you may say, well, can I do both? Yes, you can. I'll come to that. So you can do both an EIDL and a PPP, depending on your situation. And so you're going to go over there to SBA.gov. PPP, you have to go to a bank. And by the way, this is an update as of this morning. You can go to 3 different banks and get 3 different calculations. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Some banks are more conservative because they don't want to carry your loan if you don't get it all forgiven. Some banks are more aggressive, saying, come on, we want you as a client. So if you don't get the answer at the bank you want, and I've got people right now, I know, that are watching this, and you're saying, I went to Chase online and I filled out my PPP. They weren't asking what they were asking over at Wells Fargo or what they were asking at my local bank or the credit union. So I know it's going to drive you crazy, and you're going to go, I went to my bank and they said I can't do this. Mark Kohler is wrong. No, you're going to go to 3 different banks and get 3 different answers. We have read the 800-page CARES Act. We know what the law is here. SBA said, here's what we're trying to figure out. All the banks are scrambling around. And what are bankers? Conservative. And this freaks them out, giving out $250 billion. They're losing sleep over this. Well, am I going to get my money back? So be patient. Now, again, Ron says, how do I get the PPP? Do I have to have my 2019 taxes? Now, the PPP, you really have 2 categories out there. All of you that are sole proprietors and all of you that are S-corps. Now, I need you guys, Logan and Rosalie, you've got to look at these questions, because if I've already answered the question below, you could bring it up again if they're like, Mark, I need clarity, but I need you watching this. My team out here, okay, I'm trying to answer some of your questions you might have in advance. If you are an S corporation, you get a W-2. You're going to get your 941 for last year, 2019, and we're going to calculate your PPP based on your W-2s that you gave to yourself and all your employees or family. If you're a sole proprietor, and Rob, this is for you, you're going to have to fill out a Schedule C. Now, I know some banks are saying, oh, just tell us how much you made. The SBA today released the application for the Schedule C, for the PPP for sole proprietorships, and it's a mess. And all the bankers we're talking to is, if they're going to give you this money, they want to see your 2019 tax return, because that's what it's based on. So let me just do this for all of you out there. If you drove for Uber, if you have a 1099, if you're a small business owner, if you have a Schedule C, if you're an LLC, this is you. You're a sole proprietor, independent contractor. You got a 1099. That's you. This is everybody over here. They're going to go and look at your Schedule C. In fact, I don't want to have that split there. They're going to go look at your Schedule C on your 1040 for 2019. Now, for all of you gig economy people, this is where you go. This is your 1040. This weekend, I want you to knock this out. You're going to do your Schedule C. Whatever the net profit is, you're going to add to it any health insurance premiums you paid, and you're going to add to it any retirement account contributions on your sole proprietorship, which might be a SEP, a simple, or a 401k. That you're going to add that to the number. Whatever this number is, you're going to divide it by 12, multiply it by 2.5, and that is your PPP. That's it. That's it. It's going to be around, and you can't pay yourself more than 100 grand. That's the rule. So during the year. So if you made 200 grand in your small business, you're capped at 100 plus these 2 other numbers, and you divide it by 12 at the end. So times 2.5. This is going to end up being around, for some of you, around 20 grand, 20 to 25 grand. That's it. Now, for all of you out there that are an S corporation, it's a different scenario, and we can get into that here in a moment. But I want to get everybody involved here, and I want to get your questions going. So Rob Edwards, you're going to use your Schedule C, 1040, go to the bank, and apply for your PPP. You're going to take your net income plus a couple numbers, divided by 12 times 2.5, the end. Okay, now Sonia says, oh my gosh, Agnes and Sonia have two crazy questions. I'm going to come, no, they're not crazy. They're good questions, but they're hard. So I'm going to come back to those. One of these is about family sick leave and family medical leave and sick leave. We're going to talk about that. And the other one has to do with IRAs. So we'll come back to that. Okay, questions. What do we got? Rosalie, work it. Tell me what you're doing.
I have Omar from Wisconsin.
Okay.
If you have an online business that isn't profitable yet and you work a job, do you qualify for the SBA loans?
And his first name?
Omar.
Okay, Omar. Okay, I'm going to repeat Omar's question in a different way for everybody. Omar has a small business that was in place before January 31st, 2020. That's one of the rules. Was he making money? Nope. He didn't make any money last year. Now, everybody remember, a business means you have some income and expenses. If you say, well, I've been trying to build this business and all you have is expenses, that means you haven't sold any lemonade yet. You got a lemonade stand with a bunch of expenses, but you haven't sold a cup of lemonade. So I'm presuming here we've got a business that has income, but there's a loss. So if we go here and it's Omar, right? Okay. So Omar, here's the deal. If you, out of these 8, if we look at these 8 for Omar, he says he has a job, he can't get unemployment. He didn't ask about borrowing from his retirement account, that's fine. Can he get the PPP? No, the PPP for a sole proprietor is based on your net income, not your 1099. I know all of you want to ask that. You want to go, well, hold it, Mark, my 1099 from wherever, don't I take that and divide it by 12 times 2.5? No, you have to do your Schedule C, and I know some of you are going to hate this. You have to do your Schedule C, you pop in your 1099, you write off all your expenses, and whatever your net is. That's what the bank wants. And they need it for 2019. Don't hate the player, just hate the game. I'm just trying to give you the straight answer here. So file your freaking 1040 this weekend, get the Schedule C, then you take the net and you divide it by 12 and multiply it by 2.5. So Omar, can Omar get the PPP? No, he cannot get the PPP. He's not going to get the family medical leave or the sick because he has to have payroll to do that. Here's where I would go. And he's not going to get the SBA loan forbearance. He might get the stimulus check, that's cool. But Omar, I want you to get the EIDL. See, the EIDL is this $10,000. You have a small business, you're not making more money, the coronavirus is hurting you, which it is, go get your 10 grand. So go to EIDL, go to SBA.gov and apply for the economic injury disaster loan. So Omar, go get 10 grand. Boom, better than nothing. Okay, what do we got here? Logan.
Troy from Orange County, California. If I have an S Corp and a sole prop, can I apply for multiple EIDLs with the forgiveness?
The answer in general is yes. Now here's the Kohler trifecta that I've been teaching for years. And if any of you haven't got some of my books and material, you want to hold your accountant accountable. You're going to be like, my accountant's never talked like this. This is what we do. I'm an accountant. We're a small law firm for small business owners. We're affordable, and we teach this crap every week. My podcast has been going for 10 years, every week. Some of you are like, I've never heard of this guy. I'm legit. I'm out there. Just Google me. All right, Mark J. Kohler. All right, now here's the deal. The trifecta. This is what I teach every day. The trust is your foundation. This is your 1040 tax return and your family trust. It's going to own your home. It's going to own your LLC that has your rental property. The trust is going to own your S Corp that makes money and runs your business. You're going to have a W-2 out of your S Corp. Now, for those of you who are like, Mark, I don't have an S Corp yet. I just have an LLC or I have a little sole prop. Okay, cool. That's all right. That's going to go down here on your 1040. Where? On your Schedule C. So, Troy. Troy can go get an idle for his rental property LLC. And I'm assuming it has a separate tax ID number, EIN. He can also go get an idle and a PPP for his S Corp. Yes, you can. Someone says you can't get both. Yes, you can. Some banks and don't like it. And on the application for the PPP, it's going to say, did you already get your idle money? You say, no, I didn't get it yet. Fine. Check the box. No. That's what I did. I've got it right here. Okay. In fact, I brought this just so that we have it here handy. Right here in front of me. I've got the PPP loan application right here. Now the final schedule on this 2-page loan, that's it. It's 2 pages, people. The 3rd page is what your bank wants. And every bank's got a separate 3rd freaking page. So on this one, it asks, this is good, has the applicant received an SBA economic injury disaster loan between January 31st and April 3rd? If yes, provide details. Nope. Troy has maybe applied. Troy has maybe applied for an idle, but he didn't get it. And look it, this is the applicant. The LLC is the applicant, not Troy. Troy is down here. This business applied for the idle. This business applied for the idle. They're 2 different businesses, 2 different idols. PPP, one business applied for a PPP. That's okay. Now, Troy threw in a curveball. He said he also has a sole proprietorship. I'm going to ask him, what in the freak is your sole proprietorship doing? Because for me, I run all my businesses through my S Corp. I don't have any sole proprietorship on the side. That's not good. Troy, we want to talk about your overall plan when the dust settles here. This could be considered a sole proprietorship in a sense, because a rental property with a single member LLC. Troy, here's the deal. I got to just know what your social security number is doing over here, what your EIN's doing over here, and what your EIN is doing over here. In theory, could you apply for an idle? Yes. But this is what a consult's going to deal with. I want to get you 8 benefits, and I want to coordinate them. And so, this is not an infomercial for Mark Kohler and my law firm or accounting firm. I'm just saying we're here, and we're booked out for a week. And that's okay, get in line. This isn't going away in a week. This is going to be 3 or 4 months. So if you want to apply for your PPP, get with your bank, get your idle going, and then get a consult with your professional or us, do it. It's okay, because we got a lot of things to talk about. And guess what? Nancy Pelosi and the Republicans and Democrats are fighting it out, and there's going to be stimulus package number 2. And you're going to have a consult lined up with your professional to tackle that baby. So, I get so excited. Maybe it's the Diet Mountain Dew. I don't know. All right. So, Troy in Orange County, California. I want you applying for as many idols as the applicants. But me as a social security number, I can only get 1 idle. Me as an S Corp can only get 1 idle. Me as an LLC can only get 1 idle. Remember, the applicant is the one getting the idle, not you. There you go. All right, next question. How's everybody doing? Are we getting good feedback? Is everybody happy?
Just want to let you know you have some people watching from foreign countries.
Okay.
Tiny watching from Australia.
Oh.
You have Makonnen watching from Italy.
We got an Italy watcher that's alive and well. We hope you're okay.
And we have
In Australia?
Michael watching from Brazil. So, very cool.
Cosmopolitan. This is cool today. All right. Thanks, everybody. Glad you're tuning in from around the world. Okay, what do we got?
Okay, I have Vanessa. She's from California. Hi, Mark. What if we just started our business January 2020, but plan on doing school construction? Now that it's closed, that affected us. Can we claim any kind of help with the new package?
Okay, I like it. So Vanessa started a new business in January, which means she qualifies for the idle. But remember, the PPP is based on the last 12 months. Sorry, I know that's a little tight there for my camera guy. PPP is based on your last 12 months. So if you started your business by January 1st, I'm going to go for the 10 grand, Vanessa. Do it. Go apply. Tell them that your business has suffered. Now, the interesting part here, everybody listen. The idle And the PPP is not for you to start a business. It's to help a business that's been harmed. And you have to be able to say I've been harmed and put a number to it. And you can even have rental property. You can have an Airbnb, a VRBO, and you need to get help. That's what these are for. But if Vanessa, when you say we started in January, do you have any income? If Vanessa says, no, we have expenses, but we don't have income, that means you're in startup mode. You're not going to get anything. I'm sorry, Vanessa. You got to be not making profit, but you got to be making money and spending. That means you're in business. So Vanessa, I'd lean on the idle for now and keep trying, keep working it. Okay, what do we got? Should I take one of my written ones, or you got one? Okay, Rosalie's up.
I have Clint. He asked, can you add the health insurance costs for the S Corp owners into the PPP calculation?
Yes.
Or is it only for employees' health
Nope,
costs?
it's everybody. It's everybody. So in this S Corp, let's go back to our basic diagram. Most small business owners, and this is what I've been teaching for years. By the way, who was last week's winner? Jody Durbin won the 8 Steps workbook from California. Jody, congratulations. That's already been mailed to you. Hopefully you have it and you're enjoying it. 60 plus videos, a business plan, a marketing plan, a strat plan. It's on Amazon. Anyway, maybe I'll give away a couple books today. I know you guys are hurting out there. Okay, LLC, S Corp. And the question was, how do I calculate my PPP when it comes to health insurance? You're going to look at your 941, which is your total W-2s. And you're going to look at that. Usually it's going to be it's going to be line 2 of your 941 for last year. And then you're going to add to it your health insurance premiums for everybody, including yourself. You're golden, man. I added mine in. Now I want to give you guys 2 fun updates. Let's just do this real quick. I applied for the PPP and I applied for the EIDL. I applied for the EIDL in one business of mine and the PPP in our law firm and accounting firm. There's 2 different PPPs, to be honest. Okay. Now, we applied last Friday for our PPP. Our banker worked hard and fast. Said it is submitted to the SBA on Friday. On Monday morning, we had heard it had been approved. That's 3 days ago. Yesterday afternoon, the banker said, your loan docs are ready, come sign them. This morning, I signed them. I still don't have my money yet, but they say in the news today, $98 billion has already been approved. Mine is one little tiny sliver of that, and I'm supposed to be getting my money in the next 2 to 3 days from my banker. Before I started this live broadcast, I got a call from another client of mine that said, dude, I just got my PPP approved. I said, that's good, but the bank still has to print out loan docs. You still got to sign them, and it's still got to fund. He's like, damn, it might be 4 or 5 business days. Okay, just want to tell you how that's working. So as soon as I get my money in the bank, I'm going to hold a Facebook Live and tell everybody, I got my PPP. All right? Okay. EIDL. I applied for my EIDL 14 days ago. I'm talking a week ago Sunday. I applied for my EIDL. I hadn't heard anything. I went to the SBA website and started to complain and started to do the chat and and they said, if you haven't heard anything in 3 to 4 days, reapply. So I want to tell all of you, if you've already applied for the EIDL in 1 or 2 of your businesses or 3 of them, I don't care, go reapply. They're going to match it up to your social or your EIN, depending on the applicant, and you'll be okay. But do your EIDL. So yesterday, I had 2 clients that said, we got an email from the SBA. I was like, what? I want my email? I haven't got my email yet. They said, you've been approved for the 10 grand. The money's coming in 2 to 3 days into your bank account. When you go to SBA.gov and fill out the EIDL, you actually put in your routing number and your bank account number. And then they said, we will authorize you up to $15,000 additional dollars. That is a loan if you want to apply at 3.75, 30 years. Now you say, well, Mark, I thought they said they could do up to $2 million. SBA says we're so overrun, we're going to just do $15,000 loans for now. Come back later. So you can get up to 25 grand now under the EIDL, but I haven't got my email yet. I told my secretary, if you see an email from the SBA, you call me because I want to freaking get my 10 grand. So every business owner needs it right now. Okay, what do we got? Alex.
I don't know.
We don't know where Alex is from. Alex, you're killing me. We'll just assume somewhere really cool, like Alex from Tasmania.
From North Dakota.
From North Dakota, just as romantic. Okay.
Okay. I filed 2018 taxes. I haven't done 2019. If I do them, I will not qualify for the government check. Should I wait for that check, then do 2019 taxes?
Ooh. Good question, Alex. Let's move on to our next person. Okay. It's a hard one, Alex. Okay, I've got the answer for you, Alex. The Treasury Department said, now this is important, everybody. If Alex qualifies for the stimulus check now under his 2018 return, I'd get your check. Do it. Then you're going to file your 19 and come to find out you don't qualify. The Treasury Department has already said they're going to do a reckoning at the end. And if you got a stimulus check and you weren't supposed to, it's going to come back owed on the tax return. Some of you may have not got a stimulus check because of your 2018 income, but in 2019 you do deserve one, but you haven't filed yet. You will get it as a credit when you file your 2020 taxes. So the Treasury Department and the IRS has said, hey everybody, if you get a check, enjoy the money. But at the end of 2020, you're going to file a tax return and we're going to make it square with everybody in the country. That's what they said. So Alex, I wouldn't file your 19. Call it an interest-free loan from the IRS. Get that stimulus check, use it wisely. And on your end of your 2020 return, you're going to have to probably give it back. All right, Rosalie.
I have Jody from Work Camper News.
Hey, Jody, down in Arkansas. I know Jody at Work Camper. Man, how'd she get through? We're letting her in. All right, Jody, what's up?
Work campers have questions about applying for unemployment. There are people going around saying that people who would receive a 1099 instead of a W-2 can file for unemployment. Can a person who earned a 1099 income file for unemployment? Does the work camper file for unemployment in his or her state, in the state that they last worked, or in the state that they were supposed to start work in this month, but the job was canceled?
Okay, anything else, Jody? World peace? Yeah, I've got the cure for COVID-19 right here under my desk. For crying out loud! How many questions are you allowed? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's talk about unemployment strategies. Okay, sole proprietors are entitled to unemployment. So are S-Corp owners. So let's do 3 different examples. Let's say you're a sole proprietor, and that means you got a 1099 in 2019. Okay, this is 2019. All right, this is good, everybody. This is your little, I normally do not consult on unemployment, but boy, have I had an education this month, and I've become an unemployment expert for some reason. Okay, so this is 2019, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. So let's say you're a 1099 sole prop. Okay, now there's some of you out there that are an LLC, and I call those single member LLC, meaning you own it 100%. Guess what? You're a sole proprietor. Then there's some of you that are an S-Corp or an LLC taxed as an S-Corp. There's a difference, okay? This is my single member LLCs. These are my LLCs taxed as an S-Corp, or you're an S-Corp. All right. I don't know what bucket you're in. This is why we're doing consultations. That's why they take a half hour to an hour, and we kick butt and give you, we're getting 20, 30 times what you're paying us easily, okay? But go to your professional for this info. But here we go. If you're a 1099 sole proprietor, in order to get unemployment, you have to meet the base period for earnings to qualify for unemployment. So if you had a small business last year and you said, I made 20 grand last year, okay? You made 20 grand net. You're gonna have to show it on a tax return, Jody. So you're gonna have to say, okay, my work camper filed a 2019 tax return, they had a Schedule C, they had a 1099, and they netted $20,000. Then you've got to go to the state where you're a resident and go see if you qualify for unemployment. And they have, how much did you make during this period? Some states go back 6 months, some go back 12 months, some go back 6 months, and then look at the 6 months before that. Every state's a little different. So you have to find out, do I qualify for unemployment at the state level? If you do, Then the feds throw in an extra $600 a week. What? Yeah. So you get $600 a week plus whatever the state gives you. The state can range from $250 to $550. So you could get close to $1,100 a week being on unemployment. This is where Lindsey Graham on the Senate floor was going berserk, saying, what the freak? Down in North Carolina, people are making more on unemployment than they made when they had a job. And they held up the bill for a couple days. And then finally they said, let's just sign the darn thing. And they signed it. So this is unemployment. So if you're a sole proprietor, and with all these strategies, people, you've got to say, I am unemployed. You can't be making a 1099 somewhere if you're unemployed. You can't be getting a W-2 somewhere if you're unemployed. You've got to say, I am unemployed. Then you can go apply. Now, if you're a single member LLC, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do the same test. Now, this is where it gets good and I can make you some money. If you're an S corporation and you got a W-2, the only time I am going to get you unemployment as a small business owner is if your business is wiped out. If your business is wiped out and you're licking your wounds, and I know there's some of you watching here and it's bad and you're scared to death and your business is toast, go apply for unemployment. You're going to pull out your W-2 for last year. You're going to go apply for the state and you're going to get the Fed kicker. The Fed kicker is up to 12 weeks at $600 a week. That's $7,200. That ain't chump change. Now, for those of you where your S Corp is still alive and well, you can't go claim unemployment because your business is still making money. Where you're like, well, I'm not taking a paycheck. I can get unemployment. No, you can't. It's not going to work. The state knows that trick. That's been around for years. So if you own an S Corp and you're taking a W-2 or can't afford to take a W-2, doesn't matter. If the business is open, then you're a business owner, you're employed. Now, here's the strategy. Some of you may have been putting your spouse on payroll. That's a strategy I teach in chapter 7 of my book. I've been teaching it for years. So when I have a client, what I do is I have their S Corp hire the business owner, then hire the spouse, stay-at-home dad, stay-at-home mom, and we fund a 401k. We take our profits and fund an LLC and buy rentals or invest in notes or cryptocurrency or whatever you want to buy. So a 401k gets funded by the spouse. If some of you were doing that last year, I'm going to fire my spouse. My wife, Jennifer, it was not a pretty day last week. I said, honey, you're fired. And she was like, what? Why am I fired? You get unemployment. And then we looked at the line and all the paperwork and we said, no, we are not going to apply for unemployment. We're going to let the people that really, really, really need it go get unemployment. But she would have qualified because she was on my payroll. Now, some of you where it's really hurting, give your spouse unemployment. You stay on. That's a great strategy. So, Jody, big topic. You apply for unemployment in the state where you're a resident. Number 2, if you really are unemployed, you better be freaking unemployed and you got to look at your net income, go apply at the state. And if you have an S Corp, you're going to look at your W-2 for last year, and some of you may be able to fire a family member and let them claim unemployment. Boom! There you go, Jody. Take that. Right? If you've ever seen Land of the Lost, I'm going to say it. That's in the part of the show where he goes, Matt Lauer can suck it. All right? That's from Land of the Lost. Some of you may be offended by that. Some of you don't like Matt Lauer anyway. Watch Land of the Lost. It's a good one. Will Ferrell nails it. All right, go ahead.
All right, so we got a question from Miguel. Also don't know where he's from. Maybe South Dakota, maybe North Dakota.
Yeah, maybe North Dakota.
Yep.
Miguel.
So if the business gets the $10,000, how do you put it on the books?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, it's not a loan. It's not a. It's a grant, and on your QuickBooks, I'd probably just book it as grant income and debit cash. There we go. Debit cash, grant income, and it's not a balance sheet item. Now, if that 10 grand does not get forgiven for whatever reason, then you're going to move it from grant income to a liability. But great comment. Now, I want to talk about the PPP for a minute on this note. This was another item literally we talked about today. Oh, man, I'm rolling all over the place here. Okay. On the PPP, what we're recommending to clients is when you get that money, put it in a separate bank account. Don't put it in your operational account. Put it in a separate bank account. And then make all of your payments out of this for payroll, rent, and fixed debt. Because when you go to apply to have this forgiven, I want it to fly right through the bank. See, people, this is a two-step process. Step one is you go apply for it. Step two is you go apply for forgiveness. And whatever's left here at this number is at 1% 2-year note. Now, I've had clients say, hey, whatever I don't use for these items, I'm just going to give back to the bank. I don't want the debt. All right, cool. But a lot of people are going to just throw it in their operational account and spend it every which way. It's going to make it harder to get it forgiven. And you don't want that. So be careful with that money. It's sacred money when you get it. We're already at 5 minutes? Come on. I want to go longer. Do we have lots of questions? Okay, well, let's keep trying. Okay, I'll answer fast.
Okay, I have Anna from Colorado. I applied last week for the Idol through SBA website. Enter my bank information. Haven't heard anything. Should I reapply?
She said last week.
Last week, yes.
I would say, what's her first name? Anna. Anna, if you applied on Friday of last week and today is Thursday, if you don't get an email by morning tomorrow, I don't go reapply. If you applied the middle of last week, I'd put that on your to-do list tonight while you're watching Prime. Get over there and fill it out. You can do it in 15 minutes. Now, you know what's interesting, people? I'm doing this for clients that just have rental property. They have a little rental property and they're worried about their tenant paying rent. You know, are they really going to keep paying rent? So I have clients just applying for the Idol over here. You can't do a PPP for rental property. Can't do it. But I can do the Idol. And if you have multiple LLCs, I'll do 3 Idols. That's good. So I'm okay with that. Okay, Rosalie.
Christy asked, are you accepting new clients?
Oh, Christy, thanks. Okay. Christy said, are we taking new clients? Yes. And let me just say this out there. We're busy and we're trying. I asked all my attorneys to work Saturday, as many as that would. We've got CPAs taking consults as well, but we're working on tax returns. This is busy time for us too. So let me just say, all of you, if you'd like to set up an appointment, and it might be a week out, that's okay. And we have a little waiting list for any cancellations. We're moving people up earlier. Give us a call. Here's our main number, 435-586-9366. Don't be a hater. We're charging about $300 for a consult. You can use that money for other stuff. We can talk about your tax and legal structure. We generally charge more than that to do, kind of big planning for our clients. But we still try to be available, affordable, and in that hour, my tax attorneys are going to rock it for you. You're going to love it. At bare minimum, go sign up at my website, markjkohler.com. I have a newsletter that goes out every week. We have a podcast every week. On the newsletter that went out yesterday, we had 3 webinars of an hour each, 5 articles, and a podcast, all on this topic, all free. So we've got lots of content out there. But when you're trying to bring together these 8 topics, right here again, this is where a strategic consultation where we can try to bring it all together, that's what we're shooting for. And don't use our firm if you don't want to, but pay someone to look at all these moving parts and put it together. My one client, I got stimulus, SBA loan, 2 Idols, emergency sick leave, family medical leave, and a PPP. 220 grand. Boom. And we're seeing that every day. Okay, I had 2 other questions I've got to hit on here, but you go first, Logan. What do you got?
Go ahead.
Agnes and Sonia, I'm coming to you. Don't worry. Okay, go ahead.
Ryan from Maui. Can my business make too little to not qualify for the EDIL loan?
Okay, idle. That's what we in the business call it, Logan. Idle's cool. Okay. Ryan over in Maui. First of all, again, my heart goes out to you. I don't know if many of you saw this. Hawaii, as I think at the top state of unemployment rates right now. The tourism industry has gone through the floor. No one's going over there. It's hurting in Hawaii. So Ryan, my heart goes out to you, to your family and friends, and God be with you. I mean, it's tough. Man, I just get emotional thinking about it. So be safe. So Ryan's in Maui. Some of you think that's wonderful. Right now it's tough over there, really tough. He said, can I make too little to get the EIDL? The EIDL says up to 10 grand. So when you fill it out, you have to be honest and say, here's what my sales were for last year. And it asks you what your cost of goods sold are. That's such a squishy number. Just take 10 or 20% off your sales and say, there's my cost of goods sold. I mean, cost of goods sold can be defined in so many different ways depending on the type of business. So a service business can have cost of goods sold or it can't. It's just, an accountant, you know that. So when you go apply, Ryan, put in your gross sales for last year, a little bit for cost of goods sold, see what happens. If you're making less than 10 grand in gross sales, you're probably not going to get 10 grand. So that's the truth of the matter. But as long as you had sales last year, you're in biz. Maybe you got a little rental property over there, Ryan. A lot of people in the islands have that second little rental property. Okay, now there was 2 other questions here. And this brings in family medical leave and emergency sick leave. These are pretty cool. I should say emergency paid sick leave, Family Medical Leave Act. Okay, we ready? Okay. This is good because I had a client where we knocked these 2 out. Okay, Sonia says, we are closed per the governor and one of my employees is scheduled to have her baby tomorrow. We do not offer benefits of maternity leave, so she was going to be off and not paid. If I'm approved for the PPP loan, will I be able to pay her out of that since we are closed anyway due to COVID-19? Okay, now Sonia, here's the tricky part. If you're closed, how can you pay her? That's the hard part here. Now, under the PPP, people, when you get this money, you've got 8 weeks to spend it. So once the PPP comes in, the clock starts. And you've got to start counting the days, and it's 8 weeks. So, Sonia, hopefully, when you get the PPP money, and I may even tell the bank, think about it. If you can't even be open, why do you want the PPP money? Because you've got to spend it within 8 weeks to get it forgiven. This is an interesting strategy, Sonia, I haven't even thought about. If the bank calls you up and says loan docs are ready, I might say, can I wait a week? Because if you get the money, the 8 weeks start. And if the bank says, you really don't need it right now, say, I can't even be open. The governor of my state said we have a shelter in place. I can't even open my restaurant or whatever it is. So, Sonia, I would talk to your bank and try to push off the PPP as long as possible without losing it. Talk to your banker. They want you to get the loan. So, if you don't sign loan docs for a week, who's going to care? But I think. But anyway, get the money, then you can bring her back. Now, the tricky part here, Sonia, is paid sick leave and family medical leave is also reimbursed separate from PPP. Okay, everybody hear me out. Let's say that Sonia's got her little business here and she gets her employees back. EES stands for employees in kind of accounting language. And we say, okay, we're going to use the PPP to bring back all the employees, ramp the business back up. Let's go. Then you're going to go say to this one employee that just had a baby, hey, do you want 2/3 of your regular pay for 12 weeks? That's family medical leave. So she could get family medical leave at 2/3 of her regular pay for 10 weeks, up to $10,000, completely reimbursed to you. That's separate from PPP. So once you open your doors, bring that employee back, give her family medical leave, which you get reimbursed 100%, and use the PPP for your other employees. Boom, Sonia, that rocked. All right, I gotta wrap it up. Oh my gosh, I got 5 o'clock. Let me just say, Agnes said, Mark, I'm from Renatus, real estate education. I've been laid off since February 7th with the COVID. It exacerbated the problem. I received unemployment benefits. I receive unemployment benefits right now. I don't have a small business. I have IRA retirement at this time, which I'm thinking of tapping into. Does it apply to me? Yes, but people, Agnes, your IRA money is sacred money. Be so careful, people, tapping into your 401k or IRA. It scares the heck out of me. Get your unemployment benefits. It could be up to $1,100 a week. Try to survive on that. Cut costs everywhere you can. Sell crap you don't need. Hunker down, circle the wagons, whatever. But tap into that IRA as a last resort. And yes, you can get up to 100 grand out of it. No penalty, taxes paid over 3 years. All right. Okay. I have on my website right now at markjkohler.com, for any of you that are at home building your business and studying, and by the way, I'm going to give away the books. So hang tight. Go to markjkohler.com. I have a quarantine special, and it's all of my videos. I'm shooting videos tomorrow. Caden, we're doing it tomorrow, all day. I've got so many videos to shoot. It includes my books in digital and audio, a whole little package, 99 bucks. It's normally like $900. During the quarantine, I brought it down to $99 and just pumping it out. And it even has the 8 steps, right? In digital format. That's a business plan, a marketing plan, and a strat plan, and another 60 videos and webinars. Please check it out. It's tax deductible, and you can get it at my website, markjkohler.com. Now, I'm giving away the books. If you just share this Facebook message or Facebook video or YouTube, just share it. Rosalie goes through all the shares tomorrow. She chooses a winner. Let's give away 2 books. I'm going to do it. An 8 steps, which is 99 bucks on Amazon, and my tax and legal playbook for all you small business owners. Both of these are amazing to build your business or start a business. And this, we're going to give away 2 books. Next Thursday, I'll announce those winners, but Rosalie is going to mail it out tomorrow, so you'll get it tomorrow. Last thing, please subscribe. Click the bell icon if you're on YouTube, or please follow me on Facebook. I'm going to try to kick out great tips and strategies every day, every week during this crisis. Don't give up. Try to learn from this, take notes, circle good friends and family around you. Just do the best you can to hunker down. I love the American dream. We're going to get it back. Don't give up, and I'll see you next week on Thursday.